for Spence right now. He's been showing that right left continuously.
Boxing in 2023 continues to get better and better. And who knows by the end of the year what matchup, what event will turn out to be fight of the year. But it's being mentioned that come this July 8th, Jaron "Boots" Ennis is going to return to the ring. And we haven't seen Boots in a while, but it's going to be a monumentous event because he's one of the young lions waiting for an opportunity for the champions at the top of the welterweight division to finally sort things out. And we do know that that is happening very soon, on July 29th. So it's been announced that Showtime is bringing Boots Ennis back on July 8th. Now, who's the man in question? From the looks of things so far, it's going to be Roiman Villa. Yeah, the man who got that victory over Rashidi Ellis in a controversial decision. But this is a good thing, people, because the movement in the division will start as soon as the two champions sort things out for Undisputed. Now, the great thing about this matchup with Villa taking on Boots Ennis, there's a number of people out there who really don't want to face Ennis at this particular time. And there's a good reason why. First and foremost, Jaron is 25 years of age. He's an orthodox fighter who's 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. And that is enough to cause some concerns. And when we look at his record, he's bringing a record of 30-0 with 27 KOs to the ring. Now, Ennis is known to be able to switch from orthodox to southpaw and back again during a fight, during a round, from moment to moment. And he is so adept at this that the blazing hand speed that he has, coupled with power, has people speaking of, including myself, Roy Jones-like talent. But he is yet to really be tested yet. And this is the thing that we have to question, even with Villa coming in. With his record of 26-1 with 24 KOs, he's a strong fighter. He's a come-forward fighter. Doesn't have a lot on the athleticism side, nor footwork. So he may be tailor-made for Ennis. But he is rugged, and he will bring it. Flaco de Oro is who they call him. And in his fight against Ellis had appeared to outbox him for the majority of the rounds. But the scorecards were very close, with one judge having it scored an even bout, 113-113, and then two judges had it 114-112 for Villa. But this is the thing. Against Jaron Ennis, it's going to be a showcase. He's headlining a Showtime event, and according to Boxing News 24, when he returns to the ring, he will be defending his interim IBF welterweight title. And it's a stay busy fight for him while, again, like I said earlier, he's waiting for his chance to fight for the IBF belt, currently in the possession of Earl Spence Jr. Ennis will likely be elevated to the full IBF championship status in 2024. The article goes on to say, interestingly, the reaction from fans about Ennis Villa has been largely negative on social media, with many seeing the powerful Venezuelan Villa as another cab driver level opponent for Boots Ennis and not a talented contender worthy of sharing the ring with him. Ennis would fight better known guys like Keith Thurman or Virgil Ortiz if those guys were interested in fighting him, but they're not. They likely viewed Boots as too dangerous to risk suffering a loss and watching their career earning potential plummet. Keith Idec of Boxing Scene reports the news of Boots versus Villa fight, which will occur at the Borgata Hotel Casino and Spa in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is one of the rare fights in Atlantic City, which used to stage massive amounts of fights during the 80s and 90s, but not anymore. I believe that given a chance to fight and have an opportunity at a world title shot, at a bigger bag, it will present both men with an opportunity to display their wares and let the chips fall where they may. We know that Boots is so talented that he has barely scratched the surface of potential. But you can't have a career of potential. You really need to see what you can do. And his last fight against Karen Chakhudajan was a fight that many people felt Boots looked uncomfortable against Karen, who came into the fight to survive. Though he won every round, it was an ugly fight. It was a unanimous decision that made people say that Karen went Karen on Boots. And that's a side joke there, but at the same time, he wasn't able to break that particular opponent down, and he wasn't able to look good against him. But such is boxing. You can't always look your best. The idea, as Georgie Benton was known to say, is win this one, look good the next time. And that's exactly what Boots did. That fight took place in January of this year. So the fact that he's coming back 6 to 7 months later, it's not as frequent as we would like, but at least he's getting a second fight in before the end of the year. And hopefully he'll get a third fight in before the end of the year. Now back to Villa, who is presenting some issues. His fight against Rashidi Ellis saw him pick up those last couple of rounds as Ellis was looking to maybe coast a little bit, but felt the fight was in control. But it wasn't to be by the judges. Now, this Colombian native, he's 30 years old. So he's 5 years older than Boots Ennis. And he has a loss on his record to a gentleman by the name of Marcos Villasana. And that was a split decision loss that took place in May of 2019. So it was a while ago. He's had a chance to put together a winning streak. And prior to his Ellis fight, he had fought in September of 2022 with an 8-round unanimous decision over Janelson Figueroa Boca Chica, And that fight saw Boca Chica down in round 2, and he was deducted a point for spitting out his mouthpiece. So that was the thing about Vila in his last couple of fights. How he will fare against Ennis is going to be interesting. It's going to come down to the speed that Ennis has and his punching power, which is a little bit off the charts. Now, we know that Rashidi Ellis didn't have the type of punching power that Ennis has, though he had fast hands. But this is going to be a mixed bag that Vila may find very uncomfortable for himself. I would like to see the fight go rounds. I would like to see some back and forth effort. I don't want it to be a one-sided affair, even though it could very well turn out to be that because of Ennis's talent level. It's just very high. But sometimes you can get a spirited fighter like a Vila who will come in and won't be denied and will give a wholehearted effort to press a fighter like Ennis. And that's what we need to see. Will it happen? Probably not. But at the same time, it's worth noting that when you leave that window of opportunity open, sometimes a fighter like Vila is willing to walk through that door. But I believe as long as he's on this quest, Jaron Boots Ennis will want to continue to shine like a diamond. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are and where you would like to see Jaron Boots Ennis go from here. Where would you like to see Roiman Vila go from here? It's going to be interesting. I look forward to these welterweights. I'm glad to see the fights are starting to happen, and we have a lot of talent out there that's just underneath these champions that we want to see do their thing. So let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.